This is Hannibal and Piper here from thehannibaltv.com, and this is my weekly review of the points I find interesting in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter. So I'll jump right into it for this week. Of course, the big news was Stephanie McMahon taking over as Chief Executive Officer and interim chairwoman of the board for the WWE. This came only days after her father had a story come out about him, Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis, both having an affair with John Laurinaitis' 41-year-old assistant. And of course, John Laurinaitis is the head of WWE Talent Relations, but Bruce Prichard is taking over that job in the interim. Apparently, there was a $3 million payoff made by McMahon in regards to keeping the women quiet, and there's an investigation going on for that situation right now. Laurinaitis was not on Raw, and apparently the administrative leave that he's on right now is going to depend on the outcome of an investigation ordered by the company's board of directors into the situation. So Bruce Prichard is now the number 2 man in WWE. Vince McMahon is still head of WWE Creative. And of course, he did appear on Raw and SmackDown. SmackDown 2 weeks ago and Raw this week. So apparently, Vince also settled his XFL lawsuit with Oliver Luck, who was in charge of the XFL and was suing for $24.1 million. It's unknown how much the settlement was for. Jim Duggan, who I've done a shoot interview with and has worked for Great North Wrestling in the past, is 68 now, and his ongoing battle with prostate cancer is still going on. He posted an update that he's still going through radiation treatment. The cancer has not gone away, so we wish him the best. The ratings have been down for AEW recently. There isn't very much interest in their New Japan Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Meltzer brings up that there's no really big feuds involved in the pay-per-view either, and there's a lot of people flying in for the live show. Of course, this is something that generally appeals to smart marks, whereas your mainstream audience doesn't really care about New Japan, and New Japan isn't exactly in one of their popularity peaks these days either. Ric Flair's retirement match has been moved to the 9,700-seat Municipal Auditorium in Nashville after selling out immediately at the fairgrounds. And I understand that if it's not sold out, it's close to already being sold out at the Municipal Auditorium. Flair's also going to be returning to WWC Puerto Rico to manage Andrade against Carlito on August the 6th. Billy Graham, who's 79 now, reported this week that he's going to have some of his toes amputated due to infection. So constant health battles with Billy Graham. He's a tough guy, and he does have a GoFundMe going, and he does post updates on his Facebook. Apparently, John Cena is still a big draw for WWE. When they first announced him for the Laredo, Texas show on this coming Monday, June 24th, they only had 3,726 out. And now there's almost 7,000 tickets out, and they're already close to a sellout. So that show should probably sell out. AEW did a 0.31 rating this week with 4,300 paid in attendance. That was in Milwaukee, where they had 5,200 last time, so attendance was down. NXT did their best rating for a while, 0.18 rating. Rampage did a 0.12 rating. SmackDown did a 0.62 from Minneapolis, where they had 5,700 paid. Raw did a 0.54 rating from Lincoln, Nebraska, where they had 5,200 paid. Jake Roberts is out of action right now with bladder surgery. So sorry to hear about that. Hope that it went well. Seventh Son says it's hot in Ottawa. You will never catch me complaining about the heat. I will take the heat any day over cold weather. Mike D, maybe a Mike McGurk interview will happen, and I know you're a big fan of Piper. Thank you. She's at the start of this, and she's back down on the floor right now sleeping. So I'm not going to wake her up again to show you, but she's here. Colonel Quayle booing something. Probably the Hacksaw Jim Duggan cancer situation, which I'm sorry to hear about because he's a really great guy. And on that note, I got some stuff to do, so I wish everyone a phenomenal Saturday. Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at The Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Hannibal TV.